Y'all, this is my little review of Bel-Air. I just finished watching season 1, episode 1 of this new show. First of all, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, I am going to be doing spoilers, so you might not want to watch this if you haven't seen it yet. Number one, don't go in expecting this show to be like the original. The only thing to me so far that it has in common with the original is that it has the same locations, some of the characters. They got like some little Easter eggs in there, like if anybody remembers Judge Robertson being the asshole judge, I think he was in played by Sherman Hemsley, I think in the first one. They have references to the old series like that. Other than that, to me, this is pretty much nothing like it. It's really just a title they used, in my opinion, to draw people into the new series. So don't expect it to be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because it ain't. It's a lot of black angst. It's like Tyler Perry and BET threw up on Peacock. All right, let's get started. First of all, the man in the yellow jacket, and I have some notes here. I didn't want to forget nothing. The man in the yellow jacket in the fight scene looked like his breath stank. That was the first thing that struck me. He had a raggedy ass mouth. I just thought to myself, you know, he's a drug dealer or whatever. He can't afford to go to the dentist. I don't know. The basketball battle was so corny to me. Like, yeah, if you don't win, you work for me. Like, really? It's just stupid to me. And the police never come that fast in the black neighborhood. Really, y'all? Pow, pow, woo! No, that doesn't happen. You be laying there dying and they pulling up 15, 20 minutes later, maybe. Okay. Next. And I'm going to really pick this apart. This is why I don't really watch TV like that anymore and shows, because they're stupid. And I tend to pick shit apart. I know we're supposed to suspend our imagination, but this is supposed to be like more of a reality type based show. So jail ain't that dark. Jail be bright as hell so they can see what y'all doing, okay? But anyway, that was just an aside that I noticed. I want to compliment the camera work. The camera work in this series is a positive point to me. Excellent camera work. Excellent set design. The wardrobe I love. I look at all this stuff when I watch a show, not just the plot. I love the characters. Some of them. I'm gonna get on that in a minute. I like that Hillary has her thing popping. And you know, when you think about it, Hillary probably would be that kind of girl if Fresh Prince had come out today. She'd be that it girl on social media, you know. New Hillary isn't so bougie like the first one. She's more bougetto to me. Like, she's like period and all that. I can't see original Hillary talking about no period, but that's the thing now, right? So okay, I'm gonna take that back. I don't really like the characters. I like the acting. What the hell does Uncle Phil do? Like, the first house in Bel-Air, they lived next to the Spelling Mansion and stuff like that, and they were in Bel-Air, of course. But it was more of like a quiet old money type vibe. This is like, dude, you're not just a judge. You don't have just like a little business or something. Not that he had a little bit. You don't have investments and shit. You're not what this is like. That was the bank's house. Wow. Yeah. It's like, it seemed like they're even more rich in this one. But then again, that doesn't mean anything, because you can have homes, haven't seen myself here in Atlanta, you can have homes that are smaller, like the original mansion, and still be very, very wealthy. So that doesn't always mean anything. But just from the outside looking in, wow, what the hell does Phil do? Getting on Uncle Phil. I don't really like the new Uncle Phil. He's not likable. He's stiff. He's kind of stiff to me. And like, when I was looking at Will come in the scene where he had just arrived from Philly and the party was going on, like, these black people were so just stiff and tight. Like, I've been around black people like that before. I've been around all kind of different people in my life. When you meet them, they still black. You know what I'm saying? These were just stiff. I don't know, I just can't. It was a little contrived to me. You do have people like that, but come on now. We all still black now. Come on. Like, they didn't even know how to do a dap. Come on. It was just a little contrived to me. Like, it was like they were pushing the culture shock thing extra hard. And that would be a culture shock moving from somewhere like West Philly to Bel-Air, okay? But damn. Now, let me get on something that's not series related. Peacock. I got the username and password from my friend. He's letting me use it to watch this, which I appreciate. I can't believe he's paying for this and he still has to watch a shitload of commercials. I felt like I was in commercial hell. It was worse than cable TV. Every 5 fucking minutes, they're plugging a show to me that I ain't gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch that shit. But I had to sit through it. Couldn't even skip it, and he's paying for this? I thought that was bullshit. Yeah, Uncle Phil is not likable to me. I like Hillary's little character. Ashley's cool. I'm kind of disappointed that they're putting Lisa out there so early. I heard someone else say that, and I have to agree. I kind of like Will when he was dating around, just being a young guy player. Maybe they'll get to that a little more. But it seems like they're trying to hook him up with someone already. Which leads me to, and I know this is everywhere, who cares? This is just my opinion, right? Put yours in the comments, by the way. Carlton. Carlton, they made the most unlikable character. Clearly, they were trying to make him like the little villain. I think it's funny that they still kept him short. Like, they kept that part. I saw some of the previews for the other episodes. Spoiler alert, Carlton's on drugs. He's sniffing coke. Having dated 2 people on drugs, and I will never do that again. Totally accurate how he's, getting mad, has anger issues, pushing Will in the pool, during the party because he's with Lisa. Lisa is his ex. You would have thought he walked up on them having sex, but that's a totally accurate reaction for a cokehead. I mean, really, they're really unpredictable and crazy sometimes. Carlton's very unlikable. The locker room scene where the white boy was saying nigga. Listen, let me tell all white people looking right now, it's not okay to use that. It's not okay. That's a whole nother video. I won't go into that. That's not okay. The fact that Carlton was up there co-signing and then didn't stand by his blood, but he stood by those crackers. Oops, that's right, crackers. Yeah, I had a problem with that. And we all know all black people ain't niggas and all white people ain't crackers, but they are out there. Okay, those were crackers in the locker room. I couldn't believe that. The original Carlton, I really kind of don't like what they did with Carlton. When I heard about this series, I wasn't impressed. I'm still not impressed, to be honest. If this wasn't Will Smith behind this, I think this would be like some BET Black Angst shit. Black people, we love angst, don't we? We love it. It's almost like we have a trauma bond with it. We like living it, watching it, experiencing it sometimes. I don't, but a lot of people do because it's a mental thing. This is gonna be a little deeper because I'm a thinker, okay? So if you want a fluffy review, go somewhere else. Listen, it's okay sometimes, but a lot of series that we tend to make, we black people, especially now, we're either slaves or we're going through trauma. It's almost like a bond, like we have a trauma bond with trauma. We love that shit. Yes, suffrage, give it to me. Like, I mean, like the original had trauma and they had things they dealt with. You remember the one where Carlton took some of Will's, I think they were like speed pills, and he had like a little drug problem, and then Will with his dad, and just race, interracial dating, and different issues. They dealt with it, but it didn't feel like trauma. And we really have a trauma bond. This is a trauma bond series. Okay, this is Black Angst. Like I said, BET threw up. I'm surprised that Peacock took it, mainly on Will Smith. Like to me, that was on because of Will Smith. If this had been somebody else, it'd probably be on BET or something. Seriously, that's what it's giving me. I mean, I'm just being real. Do I think mainstream audiences, i.e. white people, are going to pick up on this and be watching it in droves? No. This is specifically geared towards us. But can you enjoy it? Of course you can. Anybody can enjoy anything. Okay? Let me see if I got all my notes. Yeah, old Carlton, even though he was an Oreo, old Carlton was always black. He was he had some ways, like the music he liked, and like how, you know, the things he did was kind of Oreo-ish, but he always claimed his blackness. I don't get that from this Carlton. He took up for them white people before he took up for his own blood, which made me like him not at all. So they did a good job making Carlton a villain. Um, Overall, I wasn't impressed with the first episode. It was pretty predictable. You know, what you would expect from something like this. Uh, Put your thoughts in the comments. I will be watching the other episodes. Maybe it gets better. I doubt it. It's probably going to go along this same little line. I like that they brought back Jazz, you know, and some of the other characters, but it just, I don't know. I think that the main thing is not to be looking towards the old while you're watching this, because it really doesn't, it's really, to me, a show that just capitalized on the Bel-Air, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air name and legacy. Um, People in the, I did watch some reviews before I watched the first episode, and people were like, nobody asked for this. We really didn't. I actually would like to see more of an escapism um, type uh, spin on shows more. I think that being that we're going through so much in the world, people need escapism. They want to laugh. You know, they want. I think that's why things like Marvel and all the superheroes, to which I think, by the way, they're overdoing too. They're spitting them out too fast, but whatever. People like them because it's escapism. It's fantasy. It takes you out of the real. This is real. This is real life. This is somebody's real life. You know, this is gritty. It's not necessarily funny. I didn't really laugh at all. It doesn't feel like there's a balance. Everybody's frowned up. It was a shock to me to see Hillary cooking and Jeffrey sitting there on an iPad. Because remember, in the original, here we go comparing, but you can't help but do it, right? Hillary, didn't nobody want to eat her cooking in the original, if you remember, and Jeffrey did everything. Run, Jeffrey. Fetch, Jeffrey. Remember? So, I mean, it's okay. You know, I'll watch the second one. I got it paused right now, episode 2. I'll do a review about that too when I get a moment. And y'all put your comments in the bottom. I don't really feel, another thing I want to touch on is I don't really feel chemistry between some of the actors like you did in original Fresh Prince. If you watch original, for instance, Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, you would believe they were a really married couple. Like, you would believe they really had been married 20-something years. This Viv and Phil, I'm not feeling that. The acting is good. Nobody's acting is bad or anything. I just don't feel chemistry. Like, there's no, I don't know. Oh, and why is Uncle Phil slim and cut? I'm not saying they got to do everything the same way, but I didn't see anybody big or anybody even thick. Lisa is the closest to thickness I've seen in this whole show. Nobody has extra weight on them. I know they're in Bel-Air, but damn, like, usually you'll see a guy and he'll be married to a slim, fine woman, but he might have a tummy or something, because that's not what he's being judged on. He's being judged on his finances and his success. Let's be real. We all know how this works, right? But no, Uncle Phil is cut. Jeffrey's like a male model. Like, everybody looks unbelievably beautiful and just suited and tailored and gorgeous. And how did Will fit into Carlton's suit? And he's so short. They said something about a growth spurt, but I'm like, did he shrink? I didn't understand that. Somebody explain respectfully in the comments, you know? So, like I said, leave your comments. That's my review. From a scale from 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, 4, just being real, and typical black drama type stuff, whatever. Leave your comments.